Midsummer, otherwise known as Joninės, but more traditionally in Lithuanian pagan ancient tradition known as Rasa. Why do we have two very tongue-twistery names for it? Well, Joninės was the Christianized version, meaning St. John's Day, of Rasa. Rasa is a word that means dew, and dew was considered to be a very magical thing, particularly on this day. It had magical properties and power. So if you took the dew and you splashed it on your face, it was like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Rasa. I don't know. You would sprinkle the dew on the bed linens of the sick and it would heal them. Things like that. It was thought to have very medicinal properties. But when Lithuania was Christianized, they combined it with the Feast of St. John, and it became a name day. So everybody that had the name John also celebrated their name on that day as well. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this a traditional Lithuanian horned helmet? And I'm here to tell you that no, it is not. I made this for a photo shoot, and I just thought it was very apropos to wear today. With it rhymes, I like it. It is one of my creations. It has mushrooms on it and moss and all kinds of fun green things, and I love it. And, you know, I can't wear it to Trader Joe's, so I'm going to wear it now. Okay, but my favorite tradition today was the one that I had learned about as a kid. It was the legend, the myth of Paparčio Žiedas. And you're like, girl, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you. Paparčio Žiedas was a magical fern that was said to only flower on the Feast of St. John on Joninės or Rasa. And you would have to go hunt for it. So even still today, you have kids going out looking for this magical fern. And once you got it, you know, I've read a lot of different texts, some like old ones, some slightly older ones from the 90s, and it's interesting, the interpretations, but basically it was kind of like an immortal flower. It would make you see things clearly. It would bring you much prosperity. You could talk to the dead. You would have, I don't know, see into the future, just like a bunch of stuff. Like it was like the Holy Grail. Some of the other traditions included jumping over bonfires because you needed to find a husband or you needed to know if your marriage was good. So you linked arms with your partner. I don't know why I'm going like this, but you linked arms with them and you guys were supposed to jump over the bonfire. And if your arms stayed linked, marriage good. I mean, if you're burned, didn't matter. As long as the arms were linked, you were good for life. And of course, if you unlinked arms, then big problem, bad marriage. But we're not going to go into that. We're trying to keep it positive today. We're trying to keep it upbeat. The other tradition is the young maidens. The unmarried maidens that needed a husband would go out and find 9 or 12 different special medicinal herbs and pinta, that's the word for braiding, into a flower crown or a flower wreath. You might have seen these things at Coachella, girls. This was a real thing. And they would braid flower wreaths and throw them into the river. And if they sailed through the river like super fast, you would find your husband super fast. Things like that. So a lot of really interesting traditions. A lot of it was about getting a husband or having a good relationship. I feel bad for these people. They didn't have Bumble or OkCupid or Hinge. So, I mean, they had to do what they had to do, right? But I digress. So much to share about Joninės. Definitely Google it. There's a lot of different interpretations. Just keep in mind, this traditional day of Rasa was appropriated by Christians and made into Joninės. So you're going to hear a lot about warding away evil witches and warlocks. Lithuanians were in fact pagan. Our roots are pagan. We are witches of a sort. So that's like the sort of thinking and idealism that came about much later in order for the church to gain control. It's just about honoring nature, really, and getting back to the earth and all of its cycles. And I think all the things that we want to honor today. So I hope you're able to celebrate the summer solstice however you see fit, whether you want to braid a crown, jump over a bonfire, or just pick a flower, or just gaze out your window, see what's going on out there. Really just be grateful for everything that's around you. Okay, that's it. Happy summer solstice, guys.